Oneonta, a descent into darkness. In Oneonta, Alabama, a chilling incident has unfolded, revealing a disturbing tableau of neglect and potential danger. A 4-year-old boy accidentally shot himself, an event that would soon expose a far more unsettling reality. The parents, Cassandra Lynn Lutz and Alexander Andrew Corrie, now face serious charges. What authorities discovered within their home paints a grim picture of irresponsibility and cruelty. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. April 4th marked the day this nightmare began in Oneonta. A young child barely out of toddlerhood sustained injuries to his arm and leg from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Miraculously, he is expected to make a full recovery, but the circumstances surrounding this event prompted immediate concern, leading to the involvement of law enforcement. After the child was taken to the emergency room, officers were notified. What they found upon investigating the home would shock even the most seasoned investigators. The shooting was just the tip of a horrifying iceberg. A search warrant was executed, and the residence was entered. What lay within was a scene of utter squalor and unimaginable neglect. The air itself seemed thick with the stench of decay and despair. The home was infested with mice, a clear sign of unsanitary conditions. But the rodent infestation was only the beginning. The true horror lay in the collection of snakes discovered within the residence. Approximately 30 snakes were found, a number that defies comprehension. Some were alive, but others were dead, their bodies left to rot in the same space as the living. 6 dead and decaying snakes were discovered, a testament to the appalling conditions. The snakes were kept in plastic containers, many without lids, offering no real containment. The unsanitary conditions were beyond description. Dead snakes were covered in maggots, a grotesque display of neglect. Living and dead snakes were mixed together, a macabre cohabitation. Investigators believe the snakes belonged to the constrictor family, adding another layer of danger to the situation. Several boxes of mice were also found in the same room, presumably as food for the snakes. The snakes were placed on shelves, a haphazard arrangement that offered no security. But the most shocking discovery was yet to come. A reptile, identified as a crocodile, was found within the home. The crocodile was kept in an aquarium, a wholly inadequate enclosure for such a creature. The aquarium occupied the entire bathroom counter, further highlighting the cramped and unsuitable living conditions. As a result of these discoveries, Cassandra Lynn Lutz and Alexander Andrew Corrie face a multitude of charges. Reckless assault is among them, reflecting the dangerous environment in which the child was living. Chemical endangerment to a child is another charge, underscoring the unsafe conditions. 10 counts of cruelty to animals have been filed, a direct consequence of the inhumane treatment of the snakes and the crocodile. 6 counts of failure to bury or burn livestock were also levied, related to the decaying remains of the dead snakes. Blount County District Attorney Pamela Casey is overseeing the prosecution of this disturbing case. The charges against Lutz and Corrie underscore the alleged negligence that led to this horrific situation. The potential for physical harm and emotional distress to both the child and the animals is undeniable. This case serves as a stark reminder of the importance of responsible parenting. It emphasizes the fundamental need to ensure a safe and healthy environment for children. The conditions in this Oneonta home were not just unsuitable, they were downright dangerous. This incident should serve as a wake-up call to anyone who believes that such extreme neglect is rare. The suffering endured by the child and the animals in this case is a stain on our collective conscience. We must do better to protect the vulnerable and hold those who endanger them accountable. The pursuit of justice in this case is not just about punishing the guilty. It's about sending a message that such cruelty will not be tolerated. This is a story of profound failure, a failure of responsibility, a failure of compassion, and a failure of basic human decency. Let us hope that the child involved can heal from this trauma, and that the animals find sanctuary and care. And let us never forget the lessons learned from this dark chapter in Oneonta, Alabama. The sheer volume of animals, the lack of proper enclosures, and the unsanitary conditions all point to a deeper issue. Was this a case of simple neglect, or was there something more sinister at play? The presence of a crocodile, in particular, raises questions about the parents' mental state and their ability to provide a safe environment. It's crucial to examine the psychological factors that may have contributed to this situation. Were the parents struggling with mental health issues? Were they overwhelmed by the responsibility of caring for a child and a menagerie of animals? These are questions that must be explored to understand the full scope of this tragedy. The role of social services also needs to be examined. Were there any prior reports of neglect or abuse? Did social workers have any contact with the family before this incident? If so, what actions were taken, and were they sufficient to protect the child and the animals? This case highlights the need for better communication and coordination between law enforcement, social services, and animal welfare organizations. A more proactive approach could have potentially prevented this tragedy from occurring. Early intervention is key to identifying and addressing situations of neglect and abuse before they escalate. The legal ramifications of this case are significant. The charges against Lutz and Corrie carry serious penalties, including imprisonment. But the ultimate goal should not just be punishment, it should be rehabilitation. If the parents are found guilty, they should be required to undergo psychological counseling and parenting classes. The welfare of the child must be the paramount concern. He will likely require extensive therapy to cope with the trauma he has experienced. It's essential to ensure that he is placed in a safe and loving environment where he can heal and thrive. The animals also deserve justice. They should be rescued and placed in reputable sanctuaries where they can receive proper care and attention. The surviving snakes and the crocodile should be given a chance to live out their lives in a safe and enriching environment. This case serves as a reminder that animal cruelty is often a precursor to other forms of violence. Studies have shown a strong correlation between animal abuse and domestic violence, child abuse, and other crimes. Taking animal cruelty seriously is not just about protecting animals, it's about protecting our communities. The Oneonta incident is a microcosm of a larger problem. Neglect and abuse are pervasive issues that affect countless children and animals across the country. We must work together to create a society where all living beings are treated with respect and compassion. This requires a multifaceted approach that includes education, legislation, and enforcement. We need to educate people about the importance of responsible pet ownership and the signs of neglect and abuse. We need to strengthen laws to protect children and animals from harm, and we need to ensure that those laws are effectively enforced. The Oneonta case is a call to action. It's a reminder that we cannot afford to be complacent in the face of suffering. We must be vigilant in our efforts to protect the vulnerable and hold those who abuse them accountable. Only then can we hope to prevent future tragedies like this from occurring. Let us remember the child and the animals who suffered in Oneonta. Let their pain be a catalyst for change. Let us work together to create a world where all living beings are safe, healthy, and free from harm. The darkness of Oneonta must not be allowed to spread. We must shine a light on these issues and demand justice for the victims. The road to recovery will be long and difficult, but it is a journey we must undertake. For the sake of the child, for the sake of the animals, and for the sake of our own humanity, we must never forget the lessons learned from this descent into darkness.